When building a new home, you want to feel confident, knowing you're in good hands.
I was renting and I looked at building. I picked up on some bad spending habits for me to have a healthier deposit.
How would you summarise the process of building with GJ?
So my career is in the New Zealand Defence Force. It requires me to travel around the country and overseas. The build was conducted while I was overseas. Communication between myself and GJ was simple. And the day I got the keys, I was so excited that I moved in straight away, and I really love my home.
Talk to New Zealand's most trusted building team. Visit gjgardner.co.nz.
Kia ora koutou, no mai haere mai, and welcome along to the GJ Gardner Homes Mauao Super Slam. My name is Tiana Placid and it's great to have you along for our semi-finals down here at Mount Maunganui. It is a stunning day here, there are no clouds in the sky. Our players have done a fantastic job over this weekend, and hey, it's our second to last beach tour, so they are amped and ready. So let's check it out.
Hello and welcome to the Mauao Super Slam in gorgeous sunny Mount Maunganui. This is the penultimate event for the GJ Gardner New Zealand Beach Tour. My name is Ivy Schmidt and I am joined by the young Jack McManaway.
It's excellent to be here on a day like this, no clouds in the sky, winds very, very minimal, so I think we'll be in store for an excellent semi-final here.
Oh, and a ringer of an introduction. Today in the second men's semi-final we have the Auckland duo of Tom and Alani, Nicklin and Hartles versus Thomas Reid and Liam Matheson.
Yeah, we've seen Nicklin and Hartles go through so far undefeated to reach the semi-final stage, and Reid Matheson losing to them in pool play, but managing to come through that qualifier bracket and be here.
Yes, I'm very excited for this game. We've been taking bets. I know we're not supposed to, but Jack McManaway, what do we think?
I think with the caliber of athletes out there that this game has to go to third set. I think we'll be in for an absolute nail-biter, and I'm on the fence between who's going to get up for that third because, you know, it's a different story than the first and second set, so I'm excited.
Yes, and if you've been joining us over the course of this season, so we've been in Nelson, Christchurch, and where was another? At Northland, Ruakaka Northland. So this is our second to last event. We are in Mount Maunganui. Next weekend we'll also be in Mount Maunganui for the tour finals. This is a very important game for these boys because it is will be important to rack up enough points to get a good seed for next weekend where the pool prize increases. So these boys are actually playing for money. There is money on the line. If they win this game, they get a little bit more money this weekend, and then next weekend when that pool increases, the bag becomes a little bit heftier. First serve of the day, we're going to start out on Ilani Nicklin. And a smart play from Liam Matheson. Just a short little trickle, middle short. Wasn't in a great position to put the ball away, but still managed to make a point out of that. Smart play from that.
Something to note is the crowd was really fired up on that first point, so maybe we're going to get a bit of crowd involvement here. As we see a massive block by Liam Matheson, staying at the net. Huge athletes out there. They can get up real high, but Matheson winning that battle, the first one.
Yeah, so Matheson and Reid are Mount Maunganui locals. Reid was the server just then. He's a passionate CrossFitter. So you'll see a lot of athleticism from all of these boys. Matheson, I believe, was playing professionally overseas for a bit and then came back. Not sure if that was because of COVID or injury or a little bit of both.
Certainly stoked to have him here. He's an awesome volleyballer, and I'm sure in the first 3 points we've already seen that. Huge swing.
Huge swing from Nicklin. Reid laying it out, but not able to control that ball. You saw it go over our Tect tents. Tect is one of our great sponsors, making this event happen. I honestly haven't gotten to watch Reid and Matheson play too much because this is Matheson's first event this year. Recent partnership. I believe they just started practicing this week. Got to watch a little bit of them last night. They had a 3-set thriller to stay in because we are double elim. So if you win 2, you're out. First game was a close one. Second game, absolutely smoked the team. I think the score was 21-7. Don't know what changed, but I'm hoping to see that same fire today.
We see another top spin serve coming. I'm not sure if the wind's a little bit stronger out on the court. As we see it go long there, didn't dip.
Yeah, absolutely no wind out here today, which is very, very odd, especially if you're a beach volleyball player and you're used to playing on this center court. Normally, this court is the windiest beach, part of the beach about Maunganui. I've always absolutely hated playing here. If you saw me yesterday, I was man down for a bit because there's a lot of shells. Sliced my foot open on one of those shells. There's some tears, a little bit of dry heaving. Might have thrown up a little bit. Some may call me a drama queen, some may not.
Well, let's hope that there's none of that in this men's semi-final.
Well, Matheson went down with the same toe injury, so you know, if a strapping lad can't handle it, I definitely cannot. Reid cut back, saw that Hartles sneaking over to the line, just went angle.
Yep, he listened to his partner, Thomas Reid, screaming, go over angle. That's exactly what he did.
I love the energy from Reid Matheson. So it is a new duo, but I think they've been friends for a very long time, and I'm sure they've played over the years together. They're just getting really fired up versus Nicklin and Hartles. They've been playing for a while. They are the top seed for this tournament. So Reid Matheson are the underdogs, and we know I love an underdog.
Absolutely, and we've seen it happen before. Thomas Reid out here last year, and they managed to upset the first seeds and win the final. So, you know, who knows? Who knows what could happen, but they're certainly fired up and they're playing well.
Yeah, I'd like to see Reid lay out for that one. I mean, it was clean volleyball from Nicklin Hartles. Perfect pass, perfect set, easy. That's just what you want to do is high line every time. No one's really going to dig it. But if you just make a move towards that ball, it gets them thinking. Great pickup from Hartles.
Oh, nice pick.
Come on. And there's that CrossFit athleticism from Reid. You see all the boys kind of arguing with the ref there. So in beach volleyball, you cannot open hand receive a soft driven ball. You can actually do that as long as it comes out perfectly clean. And Alani Nicklin was perfect. It was clean.
Absolutely.
It was a bold decision from him, and I understand the frustration from Reid and Matheson, especially if you've ever been playing overseas. Normally, as soon as those hands go up, it's an immediate double, but it came out clean. Nothing to argue. Another cut shot pickup from Hartles.
We see more pickups from Hartles. They're going those cut shots, and at the moment he's just stretching out and getting them. What a rally.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of cut shots, you guys. This is awesome. One high line to end the day. That's all it takes.
You just got to sit back and enjoy the volleyball at this stage.
I think some guys just want a little bit more cardio. I wonder if at any point in their heads they were like, maybe we should just let the point die. Just someone's going to get it. Let's save ourselves for the rest of the plays.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Oh.
And this is why I commentate and I don't play.
That serve just going wide there. I think that could have sparked some momentum. But we've got 6-7 in favor of Matheson Reid.
Everyone is still heaving a little bit. You can see everyone's trying to catch their breaths from that last rally.
See a side switch, 7 apiece.
So as we see there, that is a joust. And the only way to win a joust is to be the second person to the ball. That is the only time you can actually go up with an open hand in beach volleyball. It's because in beach volleyball versus indoor volleyball, you can't actually open hand tip it. But when you're at the net like that, you can joust, which is where you basically are up against a blocker and you're trying to fight for that point.
Little pokey there, and it goes over. Nicklin turning to Hartles and saying, can you, but just couldn't quite get there.
I think it was high enough that he could if he wanted to, but you know?
Perhaps the footing just wasn't quite there and wouldn't have got there in time.
I think he was just ready for that cut shot. He's picked up so many cut shots.
Yeah, they have been going to it a lot in the semi-final so far.
I had a coach tell me that once you cut, you need to put your cut shot out in the first 3 points of a game, because that way the defender will hold for the rest of the game, and every time you line shot it, you will get the point on the line shot, and you don't have to cut the rest of the game if you cut within the first 3 points of the game.
Well, yeah, it's certainly a strategic game. You've got to get inside your opponent's head, and if you've got that range of shots, you can shoot that line, shoot that cut.
Alani Nicklin passing just in front of himself. It's really nice when you're the right side. You can just pass directly in front of yourself. Your set is on that antenna. If it keeps just in the antenna, especially with a right hand, you can hit it line, or just a nice cut. Like, you have the entire court. It's just a little bit easier. You have more distance. So the hard cross angle, instead of cutting it, you can literally hit your cut shots.
A tape roller there to win the point from Matheson. Swinging hard, and sometimes the net's in your favor and sometimes it's not.
It's called using the equipment. And there it is. That was the angle swing that a right side loves to hit. Using that top of the block. Matheson maybe using more of an indoor block there. Just needs to press a little bit over instead of up and down.
Certainly enjoyable to watch. Hartles is sitting Nicklin tight on that net and wanting him to challenge Matheson. So certainly exciting. There's some big points out there.
And that will take us to the Trade Winds technical timeout. Close game of 11-10. Every time the score adds up to 21, it is a free timeout for both of these boys to catch their breaths, relax, and discuss strategy for how they're going to move forward. And while we have this moment, I'd love to thank some of our partners. Of course, we have GJ Gardner Homes, which is our naming rights for the New Zealand Beach Volleyball Tour. An excellent partnership. Without them, this couldn't be possible. Taronga City Council for letting us have this back-to-back here in the Mount, taking up some of these courts, giving the Mount Maunganui population something to come down and watch, especially on a gorgeous weekend like this. Come on down, take a nice swim, dip in the ocean. If not this weekend, the next weekend. We're running out of summer. And of course, Tact, awesome partners for us. And now, so normally the commentators don't get too much play time, but Jackie played yesterday. I myself played yesterday. What did you think?
Oh, I thought that the conditions were excellent beach volleyball conditions. Little to no wind, and the day yesterday was just like today with not a cloud in the sky. So unfortunate not to get the results to go in myself and my partner's favour, but you know, stoked to be out there. How about you? How'd you find it? First tournament back in a while.
Yeah, I'm going to stick to another year hiatus. I like to talk. I don't like to move my body. It's harder than it looks, you guys.
But these boys are making it look easy out there at this point.
Yeah. Hartles missed a cut shot pickup. I think that is his first miss of the day on the cut shots.
He was leaning more towards that line shot as you saw him creep over, but
you also saw him go with his inside arm instead of his outside arm, and I think if he'd gone with the outside, he would have easily picked that one up. Again, I say easily, but again, after playing for an entire day, I realized, you know, it's easy to say one thing, and no, it's not that easy.
Wow, what a dig.
Good eye from Matheson. Followed that ball right to the back line. Did not trust his partner. Kind of looking, Reid gave him that look of, thank God he didn't listen to me, pal.
Absolutely screaming in.
Yeah, that was a close one. You saw Matheson was on the back line looking at that ball saying, nah, I'm not going to get it. Oh, gorgeous swing from Nicklin. Not much you can do to defend against that. Hoping it's out. Almost took his head off.
Yeah, really good. He found the back corner there. That's a very hard spot to defend.
He's getting up high at this point, contacting the ball high, and I think that's why it hits that back corner. Certainly a lot of power out there as well.
Ooh, that is not a clean set, but ref did not call it.
Yeah, certainly there was a few rotations on that ball. Would have been borderline, but Luis Santana, he's a very experienced ref, so saw something that we didn't.
Well, so when you're down, when you are the ref, it's hard because you have to watch the entire game. And I had this yesterday. I love to watch volleyball, and so I get really caught up in what's going on. And then 3 points have gone by, and I was like, "Why are you guys still playing? That was a double." And they were like, "You called it. You have to call it, Ivy." And I was like, "Oh yeah, that is my problem. That is all on me, you guys." Great cut shot, pick up again from Hartles. I think there might have been a net. Just
we have a
maybe.
net violation there. Tom Hartles just following through with the spike. And,
Wow. How are they not more tired right now?
Yes.
They are playing awesome volleyball. Digs, side outs, massive plays on the net. Just like what we discussed at the start of the game, it's going to be a fight. So
Yeah. Well, when you're the underdog, you get that fired up, that pumped up energy versus if you're the #1 seed, you're walking in like, yeah, we got this. And then especially when you're the home team, the Mount locals, and you got your little cheering squad, I think you just get a little bit more energy and you have that drive. But what Nicklin and Hartles have is they have those solid volleyball skills. If they just pass and set well, they're going to side out easily, as we just saw.
yeah, a wider set from Hartles there. I'm not sure if it was accidental or what, but just gave that little bit of extra space, extra time for Nicklin to find that space. Oh, shooting long, Thomas Reid.
Good idea, because his cut shots have not been going down. Of course, Hartles has been picking those all up, just the execution, not there.
Here's the smallest player out there, but he's playing up at the same level as everyone else, so
Tiny but mighty.
absolutely.
Yep, the boys are going to go high line every time now. They know that cut shot is not going to go down. Hartles is holding because it has been their go-to shot, and so now that high line's open.
And I think fatigue might be playing a part. We saw a lot of power swings at the start, but certainly opting for more of a shot game at this point, as we see an awesome diving recovery from Hartles, and he sides out. Wow.
So you saw Reid back there kind of take a step to the cut, so I'm not sure if he thought he saw something. Just needs to get stopped on defense, and he's going to be able to run that down.
No team wants to budge at all. We've got 16-17 in the first set of the second men's semi-final.
Yeah, you got to stay point for point, especially at the end. If you let any team have too much of a run, it's just a goner. Great block from Matheson. Another joust there.
He did hold late, and he got to that ball second, which is what you were talking about, and that's why he won. And he throws it down.
And you saw, because you saw the technical execution from Hartles, got his feet right on the ball, jumped straight up, but Matheson just outpowered him half a fraction of a second later to the ball. Gonna win.
Service pressure from Liam Matheson.
And there's a power play from Hartles. I think that's the first swing we've seen from him today.
Well, he hasn't had to use it so far, but certainly he does have it in his bag, and he used it right there. And what a time to. 18-17, Nicklin and Hartles.
I'm liking their energy today. They're just staying very calm, not giving up too many points, because some of the times that we do watch them play, it's just a lot of errors, especially earlier on, and they're really just staying on top of this game.
Yeah, they are playing extremely composed. I mean, they are first seed, and they've got people trying to knock them off that top spot, but, you know, they've been pretty tidy so far, and even though they are in a fight, playing extremely confidently.
Matheson going back to his hand setting after. Oh, beautiful dig from that. That was awesome. That is called a scoop and deliver. Scooped and delivered. I don't know if we're going to get a replay on that one. Yep, there it is. A beautiful dig. I mean, just, yeah.
Nothing more to say. Just
Nothing more to say. It shut me up, not going to lie.
It's hard to do.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh. That's how you come back from a momentum shift. Just putting that ball down into some sand. Set point, Nicklin Hartles.
Beautiful hand set. I think he got a little bit under it. needs to just wait and see. And first point of the day will go to Nicklin Hartles. It is best 2 out of 3, so Reid and Matheson have the chance to take the next set, but it is do or die. If they lose, bag goes to Nicklin Hartles, and they'll move on to the finals. If they win, they have a chance to take them to 3.
Absolutely. I mean, just looking back at that set, how good was the volleyball? Just everything, the hits, the scoops, the blocking at the net, just what a spectacle.
Yeah, you know, we love volleyball down here. I mean, some of us do. I think I said about 30,000 times yesterday that I actually hate volleyball. It did convince me that I'm never going to play beach volleyball again. Not a fan. I love watching. I love talking. But you guys, this game is really hard. And I forgot about how hard it was. My entire body hurts. I was on the physio table for about 45 minutes today because I cannot lift my shoulder over my head. Like, I think it's like, what, less than a pound volleyball? And like, I couldn't serve the ball over the net by the end of the day. Like, how do you guys do it still?
Oh, it is physically exhausting. I mean, these players make it look very easy, but
yeah,
it's not.
It's why they all have abs and why they all have to work out, you guys. It's a lot easier to just not work out. Like, look at everyone watching. It's way more of a vibe to just hang out, chat with your friends, have some nice sparkling water. Like, I'm drinking these Vista sparkling waters right now, and it's just magical. I've got the best seat in the house. Get to chat to you, the young Jack Maunganui.
If you are watching at home, come on down, Mount Maunganui Beach. It's awesome weather, awesome vibes out here. Beach volleyball, although it's fiercely competitive on the court, you'll see all the players having a laugh, hanging out off the court, and that's why I love it so much. So get on down, get involved, and come watch this awesome game.
And then you guys don't have to listen to our voices anymore. I mean, I personally love listening to the sound of my own voice. I don't think anyone else does, though. And first point of the day, that is an aggressive side out from Thomas Reid. Personally, I find it really interesting. So every country kind of has a different standard of play. So what I found out yesterday was New Zealanders love to pick serve. I always pick receive because I find it just like that. You see the first 2 side outs are clean. I find it a lot easier to get the point off a pass set versus off of a serve. All you have to do is pass and set the ball. Like, it doesn't sound that hard. But New Zealanders prefer to pick serve. Is that standard across the board or just certain people?
I think possibly certain. I mean, I personally look at how I'm going to get the momentum in their first ends. If I can win the first ends 4 points to 3, switching at 7 points of course, then I feel comfortable. And if there's a side advantage, then I'll opt for that. But certainly in the third set, I'm the same as you. I want to receive and I want to get on top early. Nice cover there after a Nicklin block. Another double.
Yeah, Matheson's hands haven't been coming out very clean. He's sticking with the hand set, so I love the confidence. But that's one of the things that if you're going to go out and you're going to hand set, you are going to give up a few points. And I've always been the kind of player where, you know, I started out as a setter actually indoors, and when I got to beach, I've only bump set it because I'm a percentages, I'm an error, I'm a statistics kind of gal. So I'd rather just bump set and not lose a point. But then I'm sure my college coach was thinking that, why don't you ever hit the ball in, Ivy? And you know, can't tell you. Just long on that serve.
They've both sided out the first points of the game, and then we've just seen 2 missed serves, so they're almost playing identical at this point.
That's another ugly set, but Ruff's going to let that one slide. But volleyball gods have decided that the point indeed did deserve to go to Nicklin Hartles. So volleyball gods is it's a volleyball myth that if something happens that was illegal or wrong, or the call just went the wrong way, so say the ball was in but it got called out, the point will always go back to the next player that actually deserved it, and that is the wrath of the volleyball god.
Yep, certainly that's, in New Zealand we call it the ball doesn't lie. And you'll see the next point, just like you say, has to go to them. 6-2 in the second set. Pretty comfortable for Nicklin and Hartles at this point.
But I'm not counting anyone out yet.
Absolutely not.
Ooh.
Another one.
Ooh, that one came out clean. So interesting, interesting. I think we might see a few more bump sets from the boys. They're going to take a timeout. So they do, besides the free technical timeout, each team does have a timeout that they get to use at any time. I think that right now they're just a little bit unsteady, so they got 2 clean side outs, but right now it's just been errors for them. Nicklin Hartles have earned a few points, but between hand setting and service errors.
Certainly, I think just a timeout to stop the momentum from Nicklin Hartles, who, yeah, I mean, they've just been benefiting off the errors of Reid Matheson at this stage. Not to count them out, they will be back. I'm sure it's just quick break, get a water, and yeah, surely they'll be talking over, trying to combat what's going on out there.
Yeah, so I was actually down here training with one of the New Zealand coaches because I was just a last-minute fill-in for an injured player, and so I got to train with some of the New Zealand girls, and it was just interesting because everything is a little bit different here, and we were working on just passing the ball extremely tight because apparently you make less hitting errors when you pass the ball tighter. Caveat to that is you make more setting errors, but we see another hand setting error. So, but long story short, beach volleyball is a game of errors, and so we just were tracking how many errors we were making during our games, and we don't, in beach volleyball it's insane, but you just don't earn that many points. It's mostly on the teams making errors. So if you're not in a good position, just keeping the ball in and putting a little bit of pressure, say putting it deep or putting it short, making them move to the ball, they're going to earn, they're eventually going to earn points. Just a little server confusion there. Thomas Reid's actually supposed to be serving, which puts him in a little bit more of an advantage because then Liam doesn't have to run up to the net and Reid just gets to stand back there and play defense. Reid standing straight up on defense, not going to dig a ball that way.
Certainly, I mean, Hartles extends his full arm there and he pokes over the top of the block of Matheson, and Reid in no position to chase that down, unfortunately.
We see a roll-up set, and there it is. That's the not in a great position. It's really hard to hit those balls that are coming that far off the net. Kept it in, but Nicklin got a great dig and big swing off of that.
9-3, would you have picked this at after the first set?
No, I'm not sure what's going through the head of Reid Matheson right now. They're just looking a little timid. They're not as spunky out there right now. I'd like to see a little bit more of that sass that they were giving us that first game. And there's the sass. Tagging the outside of the line on a look away, shoulder down, wrist down, fade away from the left side of that court, hitting back into the right.
That's an awesome way to bounce back. If they can get one here, sure that might spark something. Try and get them back in the game after being down 9-4 at the stage. But another error for them. Service error goes long, and we have a side switch on 10-4.
I think right now it's going to just be mental for them. They obviously have the volleyball skills. The first game was a lot closer. I'm expecting to see them come back if they can just get a little bit of momentum going.
What can Hartles do here? Cut
There's
shot.
that dig from Reid. Oh, but I was thinking that ball was out, but he got it off the hands of Nicklin, so that will be their point. Scooped and delivered.
There was another cut shot dig. We've seen plenty in this game, and Reid reads it, and he puts it away.
Yeah, especially when you're laying it out for a ball like that, it's just so much easier to use somebody else's hands versus looking for where to put it. So got the point, and then scored another big one off of Matheson's just big stuff of a block.
And
now
Matheson
they're-
was stalking Hartles on that last play. Wasn't watching the ball at all and was just watching Hartles approach, got up in front, and just throws it down.
If they can just get a control on these errors, they can get some momentum. But every time they kind of get in a groove, just wide on that hit, just long on that serve, gonna add up. And a net violation. Nicklin and Hartles have taken control of this game. Reid and Matheson just kind of giving up too many points early on. Not net getting involved. Bottom tape, not the kind of error that you want to make. They've got a comfortable lead, but I think if Nicklin and Hartles get too comfortable, I think Reid and Matheson could wiggle their way back in.
If there's a time to do it, it has to be now. So let's see what they can cook up on this point.
I think Nicklin has passed every single ball perfectly to the same exact spot.
And we've just got a little bit of an injury there. Not too sure what happened at the bottom of the net, whether it was
Matheson came down on his block, and it looks, oh, you see it there. He came down on his right ankle. Because that was a great dig from Reid.
Examine what's just happened.
Oh,
So
no.
just get a little 5-minute break. Make sure you grab some refreshments. Some biscuits,
I know he
water,
had some previous injuries, so I hope it wasn't an old one. We got some divots in the sand. I mean,
lots of good little goodies there.
There are some great goodies.
a
We
lot of
also
potential
have
for
some
injuries out there, so we're just
handout,
gonna
plus a VIP area with our Fat Boy
take a
bean bag.
moment.
So make sure you stay tuned for that.
And I'd love to thank some of our sponsors that have made all of this happen. Again, GJ Gardner's is our naming partner.
So we
Trade
won't
wins.
take medical timeout, but we will be taking
Technical
2
timeout
hours
now,
technical
as
timeout.
well
Just
as
big massive towel that we can use as a
There's
bag.
still talk on the court.
Yeah.
I think Matheson's trying to say that he came down on Nicklin, and Nicklin was on Matheson's side.
the replay. It was clearly just the sand. I think he just fell into a divot. But that does lead us into our technical timeout. Hopefully that gives him time to kind of walk it off, cool down, see what's happening. If he needs it, he can go to a medical timeout. So that's what happened to me yesterday, was right before our technical timeout, I ended up cutting my toe open. After the technical, I had to take a 5-minute medical timeout. So we had about a 10-minute intermission on our game. I don't think anyone was too happy about that one. I definitely wasn't.
It is pretty hard when you cool down after being warm, and it's certainly warm out here on Mount Maunganui Beach, but certainly if you have too long off, maybe your mindset's out, and
Yeah.
I don't know, I think 1-minute timeout for Reid and Matheson might spark something after trailing 14-7 in the second set.
They're stalking out. They're ready to go.
Let's see how his ankle holds up. Hopefully it doesn't hinder his performance, because he has been playing extremely well, Matheson, at this stage.
Here in the second half of this men's semi-final, the second semi-final of the GJ Gardner Home New Zealand Beach Tour. Hartles and Alani Nicklin have a 7-point lead here in the second set.
Hartles will be back to serve. I believe it's a float serve. No, he tosses out for a topspin serve, but it
And
goes long.
point to Reid Matheson. I love an underdog, and I loved that first game. I just want to see more volleyball. I want to see more big plays. I want to see a little bit closer. I would love to see a third set. Like, surely. Ooh, that was not a clean set.
I mean, the setting has been, it's always something that's talked about often in beach volleyball, because it does come down to the referee's judgment. And yeah, at this point, most of them have to be borderline, but borderline means 50-50, so.
It is frustrating to watch, though, and see an inconsistency in the setting calls. If you're going to call it one way for one team, you have to call it the same for another team. I'm not sure if he's not watching the sets equally, just watching the hands or the ball, because it does have to be a simultaneous contact, but there also cannot be more than 1.5 spins rotation on that ball. So maybe, I know personally as a player, I would get really frustrated with that.
Absolutely, especially being called early in the second set for doubles on Reid and Matheson's side.
And I think one of them was clean. Oh, there we go. Thank you.
I think that may have even been cleaner than the one before.
It was cleaner than the one before, but that one was a definite just not pretty. Hand sitting is one of the hardest skills on beach volleyball. It has to be simultaneous. You kind of almost have to catch and release, but you can't actually catch and release it. Otherwise, it's called a carry. So.
That's why some people will opt for that bump setting. There's no chance for a double in there.
Just not making the right decisions here for the boys. With that net getting involved again. So if you watch the first men's semifinal, net was involved a lot. The first game of this set was not really a factor. It was just great volleyball. But this game again, this net, man, it's been the #1 opponent of the day. Alani, another perfect pass. Another cut shot. Getting formulaic. All the boys want that cut shot, and I think they're just going to keep cutting until someone gets it down.
Pretty much, it's been working, so why stop it at this point?
Because it hasn't been working. That was the first kill off a cut shot, I think, all day. No, I think there's been a few. I think there's been a few. Highline's been the only one that's been working for the boys. Net getting involved again.
Whoa! Huge from Tom Reid. Shortest man on the court with the biggest bounce. Matheson screaming to him, go line. But Reid says, no thanks. I'm going to show my power out here.
Oh, that is a beautiful hand set. Perfect contact. Used his legs, used the full body, put all of his effort into the set. That ball hit itself into a nice highline kill. And you guys can't see us, but Jack is just rolling his eyes at me, shaking his head like, what is she going on about? That is a double. That is a terrible set. But ref's going to let it sneak away.
18-14, deficit back to 4. Reid and Matheson working hard to try and claw it back at this stage, but Nicklin and Hartles still seem pretty comfortable out there.
Clean volleyball right there. Nothing much you can do about that one. And this is for a spot in the men's final later on today. After this, we will have the women's semi-final matches.
We see Tom Hartles switch to block at the net there, but there's a net foul from Matheson, which brings us to match point in the men's second semi-final.
We'll have Nicklin and Hartles playing the duo of Sam O'Day and Mike Watson later on today. I mean, of course, anything can happen. Reid and Matheson could pull this out. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. That was a big swing, big chicken wing, just long. Gonna live to see the side switch.
Still match point here. Of course, it is win by 2, so if Reid and Matheson can win the next 5, then it will be win by 2. Let's see from the serve of Matheson. Wow. Goodness, what are we seeing here? 16-20 after Matheson working hard there, diving save, and then he's putting it too far for Tom Hartles to bring it back. Pressure mounting perhaps. And it goes into the net, and that is the game. 21 points to 16 in favour of Nicklin Hartles. They will be moving on to the final. And it has to be said that the second set was a different story to the first set.
Yes, definitely. And we're going to go over to some live player interviews. It's been an absolute pleasure chatting with you, Jack. Thank you guys all for listening to us. We'll get a little bit more positive as the day goes on. Maybe. My name is Ivy Schmidt. Thanks for listening, and cheers, you guys.
And I'll be joining you real shortly. Present to you guys the first of the women's semi-final, which kicks off at 12 o'clock. See you guys there.
All right, guys, down here with me, I've got Alani, Nicklin, also Tom Hartles. Congratulations to the both of you guys for winning that semi-finals. Alani, how was it for you out there on court?
That was good. That was so much fun. I love playing here. The weather's great. It's a good crowd, good atmosphere. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
That is awesome to hear. And now, Tom, you guys were in lockdown last week in Auckland. Does that mean you have to kind of change up your training a little bit, knowing that you had this weekend?
Yeah, it meant we couldn't get down to the beach centre and train at our usual place, but we kind of worked on our touches at home and did what we could. And yeah, good to be out of lockdown and be able to train properly and be here in the mounts. It was great.
Hey, that is awesome to hear. And last question for you, Alani. You guys have some massive support down here at the Mount, but also back home. Does it help you guys put out a really great performance?
It does, yeah. The crowd is a big factor. When you get tired, it's really hot out here and you hear all the crowd like cheering. It's a great time, yeah. Helps you get up across the line.
Fantastic to hear, and congratulations to the both of you. You guys will be going up against Sam O'Day and Mike Watson, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that final at 2 p.m. today. But up next, we have our women's semi-final.